Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. After the exit of 6 MPs, Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs and corporators are ready to cross over to Eknath Shinde camp. Uddhav had called a meeting on Monday in which 4 prominent MLAs did not attend the meeting. Now, who were those MLAs? Sanjay Potnis of Kalina seat, Rahul Patil from Parbhani, MLC Sunil Shinde was not there, Sanjay Derkar from Vani was missing. Now, there are also reports that corporators have also begun to cross over to the Shinde camp. Now, BJP has 89 corporators and the Sena 29 in a house of 227. On the other hand, the Sena UBT, which tied up with the MNS for the polls, has 65 seats. Now, if you look at the exit after the MPs, then it is the MLAs. The corporators also seem to have begun to do the crossover because they are all complaining about one fact, and that is the crunch of funds, that they cannot get the funds easily for their constituency. So, is this a complete decimation of Uddhav Thackeray? That's what we're going to discuss this evening. Joining me is Krishna Hegde, who's spokesperson for the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde camp. Thank you so much, Krishna, for joining. We have Yogesh Pawar, senior journalist and political commentator. Thank you so much, Yogesh, for joining. And let me begin with Yogesh to get the things in perspective. Now, 6 MPs from Uddhav Thackeray have crossed over to the Eknath Shinde camp. That is official. But how many MLAs, how many corporators have actually crossed over? Or is it just a whisper which you are hearing?
Well, as of now, when it comes to these 6 MPs, also, if you notice that not all of them have taken a categorical stance or come out in public. When it happened with the TMC, if you remember, when people defected, moved out of that party and went to the BJP, it was they came out and they were identified one by one. But that is not what has happened here. But as of now, there is still like a lot of smoke and mirrors going on. There is no categorical announcement, as so to speak. But nevertheless, by contagion, as it were, that this has now caught on with the MLAs and going down towards, like, we have 29 municipal corporations, 241 municipal councils, 128 Nagar Panchayats, and 34 Zilla Parishad. So it is only, possible. It is only likely that this kind of a contagion will spread down also, and there will be disaffection. I was speaking to some corporators in the Kalyan Domboli Municipal Corporation, for example, and they said that we are going to go with, because the corporators are bounded to the local MLA, and they're saying we are watching what the MLA does, and if the MLA jumps ship, then we are going to follow our leader in the house. So that is exactly how this works. So I just feel that as of now, it is a time for a big rethink for the UBT camp. The Eknath Shinde camp can, of course, gloat and feel that, oh, this means that it will further demoralize the Uddhav Thackeray camp. So it means this. But what you said just now in the introduction is very, very worrying. See, what happens with Uddhav Thackeray or Eknath Shinde is not my concern at all. Who wins or loses or whatever, that is not my concern. You and me are all tax-paying citizens, and it is our money that comes to them in terms of local developmental work. If this dispersal of these funds is being used as a tool to pressurize people to quit a party or join another, then this speaks of another kind of a tactic to break parties. And it is very sad that people who voted their elected representatives have to face this kind of a problem. Because if my local corporator, if my local MLA, if my local MP is being his arm twisted by refusing to give him funds, that means developmental works in my area are going to be affected. Why am I being made to pay a price by a party which is using this to build its own political capital and might? This is where actually, I think, as the media, this is where we need to bring back the narrative continuously too. Thank you, Nilu.
Let me come to Mr. Hegde. Mr. Hegde, what Yogesh said is a very significant point. But how on earth can one justify as to the manner in which the parties are being split. Whether it was TMC, I'm not talking about Bengal because since we have restricted our discussion to Uddhav Thackeray, how is it justified that you completely decimate a leader just because of the crunch of funds, and you just try and put that pressure tactics on the temple of all these MLAs, corporators, MPs, and you allow them to cross over? Is
See,
it
even
fair and
if I,
ethical? Is it
yeah.
fair and ethical? Yeah.
Firstly, I do not believe with Yogesh Bhai that this is happening. But however said, even if he says, and I believe him that this is happening, then what is happening with the TMC? Where is the crunch of funds there? The people have just left Mamata Banerjee and they have deserted. Now, Congress has an alliance with DMK for the last maybe 20, 25 years, and they've split, from the Congress, and they've gone and joined possibly tactically us because it's the Congress which backstabbed them, and they have gone and sat in Vijay's ministry. So it is not, the what Yogesh Bhai is saying. I do not endorse it. Secondly, now suppose even if he says it's true, I am saying it for the second time. For you have 40 MLAs earlier who came with us, and we had some member of parliament who came with us. When we came back to power, we had 60 MLAs and we had 7 MPs. Now 6 more MPs have joined us. So tactically saying or numerically saying we have 60 plus 13. That is 73 elected representatives. But people who joined Eknath Shinde are in lakhs. They are maybe now 8 lakhs in number. And where are the funds? They don't get any funds. Like I myself, I'm a former MLA. I don't get any funds from either the state government or any local body or the district planning committee. And but I am with Mr. Eknath Shinde. Similarly, there are so many leaders of the middle rung or the top rung, or like possibly a Gajanan Kirtikar, or even a Adsul, Anandrao Adsul, they are, or Ramdas Kadam. They are not MLAs or MPs, but they are with Eknath Shinde. So it is not only because you are getting funds, but it is because possibly they believe in Eknath Shindeji's leadership. One majority of the
I
Shiv
think
Sainiks who
Yogesh
have
wants
come
to make
here.
a point. Just allow him to interrupt you, and then I'll come back to you, Mr. Hegde.
I'm
Yes,
I'm I'm
Yogesh.
very sorry, Krishna ji. I just wanted to quickly point out that if you look at the BMC's own budget very carefully, it indicates that wards represented by ruling alliance corporators BJP and Shinde-led Sena were allocated 3 crore each, whereas areas with Shiv Sena, which is the UBT, and Congress corporators received 1 crore each. Special funds also, if you notice, in a controversial supplementary allocation of 58.5 crores meant for local civic work, BJP corporators received larger grants, while UBT corporators received about 25 lakh each. Totally, it seems like the Mayuti government is actively leveraging this funding disparity as a political strategy to induce defections and weaken the opposition. This, I feel, is something that bears out even if you look at the budget, like you run a comb through the budget. That's all the point that one was trying to make, Krishnaji.
No, I would like to
Yes,
answer
Mr. Hegde.
Yogesh Bhai. He's a very senior journalist, and he's been covering, Maharashtra politics for, for decades now. And he also would be knowing that for 15 years that Congress was in government, the same thing happened. The Congress MLAs got more funds, the Congress MPs got more funds, the Congress corporators at that time, possibly through the state government, got more funds. But I'm also adding, no one from the Bharatiya Janata Party en masse joined the Congress. No one from the erstwhile undivided Shiv Sena, in Exodus, joined the Congress. Congress was there and Congress was in power, but they didn't have
No,
this
but
kind of
Mr.
exodus.
Hegde, tell me one thing, that are you wanting all of us to believe that all of a sudden this idea came and all the MLAs and the corporators are now going to be joining Eknath Shinde camp en masse? All of a sudden, all these MLAs who were sitting with Uddhav Thackeray, why all of a sudden have thought of going over to the other side?
See, I'm not only talking about Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs. I I have been approached myself by so many Congress people. Congress leaders want to join Eknath Shinde. Now it is not about Bala Sahib's ideology there. or it is not about funds there, but Congress leaders are saying we are fed up of the Congress. Congress is never going to come into power. We need to work for the people of our area, and we want to join Eknath Shinde. He's a dynamic leader. So, we also need to make space for everybody. Even if we take in a lot of people, we have to, depute them work, responsibility, or, some post which they want. And when we are ourselves houseful, then we don't know, it will be possibly at the cost of the old faithfuls, that new people coming into the party would get more benefits than the people who have been with the Eknath Shinde ji since the beginning of the party, and that also should not
No, but
happen.
if this is the speed and the scale at which these attritions are happening from one party, you cross over to the other camp, will it not be a problem of plenty for BJP? How many people are you going to accommodate? And then ultimately, your own outfit will look like the original one from where the people came. Now, say, for example, I'm talking about TMC. Now, TMC, all the allegations were made that they are goons, they are gundas, they are corrupt, but finally all of them are now seen to be going with BJP. So what will the new BJP look like? Will it be like the a copycat version of the TMC? So the same thing applies to Uddhav's faction as well, which has gone over to the Shinde side.
No, see, those who have come with Mr. Shinde are part of the Shiv Sena, and I must thank you. Over 1900 shows that I have done in over 4 years, this is the first time someone has written Krishna Hegde spokesperson Shiv Sena. Otherwise, everyone write, Shinde faction, Shinde good, Shinde. So I think, first of all, thank you very
No, no,
much to your
we've got that
channel.
wrong. We've got that wrong. We'll try and correct it.
No, no, it's
You
right
there
actually
backstage,
now.
Abhirami, please to
No,
correct
no,
that.
no, right,
Yes.
no, right now it is right actually. Please don't correct it. We are the only Shiv Sena, and Uddhav Thackeray ji Shiv Sena is no longer the Shiv Sena. It is
Hmm.
the Uddhav Bala Sahib Thackeray Sena Party, or
Oh, so
whatever they call it.
you are admitting that all the corporators, MLAs, MPs have crossed over, and now Uddhav is a solitary man now. He's completely decimated. That's what you're saying.
No, see, I would not say anyone is decimated in politics, so I will not use any harsh words, seeing my experience in the last 35 years, because I've seen a lot of people bounce back at times. But you can bounce back only if the opposition is weak, not if the opposition is strong. And yeah, I think BJP is a 24-hour election machine. They are always on election mode throughout the country, not only in Maharashtra. And so is Eknath Shinde or Dr. Shrikant Shinde, who have been going from district to district, block to block, so much to the extent that even making the BLAs and doing the SAR Prakriya, that is the special intensive revision of the voters list. So they are so, this party is so minutely detailed and going into uh, the actual micro things of the matter. Whereas I myself was with the Congress, I have seen how the Congress works. Till the Maharashtra elections, they announced people until the last 15 days, no one is going to even bother about Maharashtra, and there may be infightings and factions and everything. And even if you go to Delhi and speak to the top leaders there, they will just not be bothered about Maharashtra, because they know that there is no election there for the next 2 years. So this is the difference between these parties, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde, where every day you are on work mode, every day you are on alert mode, every day you are on a track where you want your organization to grow, and therefore the growth is so stupendous and so powerful that you see that 16 in the first election itself, 16% of the Maharashtrian vote came to Eknath Shinde, and the Congress at
Would you say that this this split is a triggered split, or it has happened on its own, or because of the crumbling of the Uddhav Thackeray party? How would you look at it
No,
to
I would
say?
look at it, if you look at it very minutely, there are people in the Uddhav Thackeray camp, and I'm talking from personal experience as well, that there is a coterie of 4, 5 people, and I'm not blaming Mr. Sanjay Raut in it. Sanjay Raut is not in it. In my personal experience, there are 4, 5 people in the party who do not let you come close to Uddhav Thackeray or Aditya Thackeray, or even if you manage to come close, they'll throw you out, cut you off, and humiliate you and make you force you to leave the party. And that has happened with all the leaders, possibly the big leaders who have now joined Eknath Shinde. So wherever you work, you want to work with a bit of self-respect. And if you do not have it, I'm sure no one would want to work there. And that is one of the biggest reasons of people leaving It's Uddhav Thackeray's coterie. People may blame Sanjay Raut. I don't blame Sanjay Raut for it. I believe that though people don't get along with him, he is definitely, I've been a person for the Congress since 2003. I know what a difficult job he is having every day. Whether his choice of words I do not endorse, but at least it looks like the organization under the way he speaks, it's aggressive. No one else is aggressive in that party. So it's the other people in the coterie who have made a mess of it.
No, but they were all the leaders. I'm talking about the MPs, the MLAs, and also the corporators who were with Uddhav Thackeray all this while. But one does begin to think as to what was the reason why these people who are so loyal to Uddhav have just begun to move away from him.
Yeah, one is the ideology. You can't go away from Bala Sahib's ideology and get into the Congress. And the same Bala Sahib, Hindu Hriday Samrat, Bala Sahib Thackeray ji said, जो दिन मुझे कांग्रेस के साथ हाथ मिलाना पड़े वे मेरी दुकान बंद कर दूंगा.
No, no,
So
I'm
now,
not talking about Congress, but where is the ideology? It was one party, that is Bala Sahab Thakuray's party. Now that is divided into two because of
no,
reasons
the
which are
people
known to
have
the people.
no, Neelu, the people have left because the son has diverted from the father's ideology. He's moved out from Hindutva. He's gone towards the Congress. Maybe he said numerically or percentage wise, with the Congress we will have more votes, and we will be in power. But that didn't happen. People declined them after a while.
All
Possibly
right.
in the Lok
I
Sabha, they
think,
gave them the
yes,
votes.
I think Yogesh wants to respond to what you have said. Yes, Yogesh.
A quick 2 points. One is Krishnaji's made a very beautiful point about how when people are sort of, being um, induced to come to a party, then they are given a lot of hopes, they are given a lot of positions, they're given a lot of benefits. And sometimes old faithfuls who have been with the party since its beginning can end up feeling a little ignored and not be able to get the same kind of benefits in such a short time. So that can lead to a bit of a heartburn. And he also used a very beautiful thing. He said that how many people can you accommodate? So I must say, since this is a party which has the auto rickshaw very central to its thinking, I must say in an auto rickshaw there can be only three passengers. So generally, even in a sharing system, you will notice that the fourth passenger sits near the driver. So it can be a bit of an uncomfortable ride if you pack in too many people inside an auto rickshaw. And I think the Eknath Shinde faction will remember this very well. The second thing I wanted to say was, about how he said that I really respect Krishnaji for saying this, that you cannot completely write off any leader. So, and you can't use the language where you say that, they have been wiped off. Now they are reduced to nothing. Because yes, there are talks of people wanting to abandon Uddhav Thackeray's party. But whether it is the Eknath Shinde faction or anyone, they also understand that the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray continues to have that kind of an emotive appeal because he's directly a descendant of Bal Thackeray. So there will always be that kind of a feeling, and you know when people see that he has been backstabbed, he has been, so when people moved out of his party, so that kind of a, when that's why there is so much of a problem with the use the word Gaddari. So it you remember what happened in the Kunal Kamra episode. So which is why I feel that it is something that they will have a very long time trying to outlive, and especially when we go back to voters, all these machinations at this level, at the state, trying to manage numbers is all very good. But when you actually go back to people and you talk to the man on the street, then you notice that yes, they were unhappy with what Uddhav Thackeray did when he took on a softer version of Hindutva, or he started being a little more moderate and sophisticated and genteel in his outreach, in the way in his outlook. So then this hardcore Hindutva base that was there was disaffected. They wanted to move away. They were a little confused about what was happening. So at the same time, if you notice, in the past few days since that editorial in the Samna came out talking about the comparing Amit Shah and Modi's government with Mohammad Ghaznavi and the stealing of funds from the Ram Mandir shrine, you will notice that the Eknath Shinde faction, there has been radio silence on this front. If you cannot have it both ways, right? On one side, if you say that they were the Uddhav Thackeray moved away from Hindutva, and we are sort of carrying on the legacy of that true Jwalanta Hindutva, as it were, of Bal Thackeray, which is why people are going with us. If you are saying that, then you have the gumption to get up and say that yes, what has happened in the name of Ram cannot be allowed. But if you notice, there has been complete radio silence on that front. So they also sort of have they're juggling both these sides and they're being very careful. And you will notice that this space is being negotiated very, very carefully. It's almost like a waltz, two steps forward and one step back. So it's almost like you can see that happening. So it is very interesting to see how this dynamic will finally fall into place and how things will settle. But as of now, it's all up in the air. And we may say, yes, corporators as far as Kalyan Dombivli and Virar and wherever may be talking about these things. But I'm just saying that it's all up in the air until such a time that it's finally in on paper with so many people completely on one side or the other. Till that time, it is very it's going to be like we I think we're going to be having this kind of a discussion for a very long time.
No, but
Nilu?
Yogesh, is there a clarity on the numbers? MPs, of course, we know that six MPs have crossed over. But what about the MLAs? Now, what we are told is that on Monday there was a meeting which Uddhav had called, out of which four MLAs and the prominent ones who did not attend the meeting. So, is there a clarity on the numbers? Is it just four MLAs, or the number is more than that? And there are
This is
20
I
MLAs.
like how you use this phrase is very important, clarity of numbers. Tell me, Ms. Krishnaji, correct me if I'm wrong. Um, you are far more closer to the center of action than I can ever perhaps be. But correct me if I'm wrong that even in the case of those six MPs, do we have definitive clarity in terms of the fact that they are fully and firmly with the Eknath Shinde faction? Has this been officially been put out by each one of them? Have they been able to come out in the open and say some of them have made sounds about why they were unhappy with Uddhav Thackeray's faction, whatever. But have they all been? So, in terms of clarity of numbers, I think we are very, very far away from that. It's just like, there's a funny thing that they say in Bombay. दादर क्या डर के आगे जीत है और दादर के आगे सीट है, right? That's what they say. So it's still some distance away before we actually come to the fact that yes, there is clarity of numbers and everybody can say now full and final. Eknath Shinde has all the numbers and Uddhav Thackeray has been reduced to a very, very small minority. This, I
No,
think,
before I
we
come to
will
Mr.
take a while to
Hegde,
settle.
right. But
Yes,
before I
yes.
come to Mr. Hegde, Yogesh, another question that what if most of the corporators, I won't say that all of them will cross over to Shinde's camp, but if the bulk of the MLAs and the corporators crosses over to the other side, what are the options left with Uddhav? Can he exercise a legal option, or even that option is gone?
This is exactly the kind of uh, approach that the BJP did sort of had with Rahul Gandhi. You know, they sort of called him Pappu. They completely cornered him so much so that his position as a parliamentarian was taken away suddenly overnight. All that, those things were done to isolate him, to completely reduce him to nothingness. And yet, has it completely decimated him? Has the emotive pull that he continues to have as someone who's a grandson of Indira Gandhi and comes from the Nehru Gandhi family, and not only because that, but because of the kind of stance that he's taken pro people, has that changed? No, it has not. So, which is why I'm just saying that it is all wait and watch, because if Uddhav Thackeray still gets his act, Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray get their act together and go back to the streets, they still will be able to get people's support at least to an extent. Definitely not in the pockets like Thane where Eknath Shinde rules the roost. But you will notice that this definitely is the case that when it comes to Mumbai particularly or some other pockets of urban Maharashtra, you will notice that people feel very strongly about the fact the way he has been wrong. And all it needs is for him to go out and take this on as a sort of a whirlwind campaign, go from area to area and talk to people, tell them about what was done with him. But I think that is then the problem on that side, because there is so much of lethargy. There is this whole idea of, what the problem with like with the Congress, like, they all feel that they've been in power, they've been at the sort of the epicenter of power, as it were, even if not directly, or they, like Bharat Thackeray used to call it what? मैं इस government का remote control हूँ, he had said once. So I'm just saying that since they're used to that, they feel that willy-nilly things will come our way. And they, of course, they have ears to the ground, and they know that there is this emotional support, and people feel sad for how they are being treated. So they feel that that itself will translate into vote, but that is not going to happen. This it doesn't work like that. It requires some really hardcore grassroots level politics and going and mobilizing people. Does Uddhav Thackeray and other Thackeray, do they have the wherewithal to do that? Do they have enough people left who will do that? And if they do, what can they do to ensure that they don't lose their morale, and they continue to work enthused enough to work for the party to rebuild it from scratch? Those are all things that they can still work on. And if they do that in a very proper planned way, I can tell you that it will make a difference. Already, like, there is if I begin listing the reasons why people are unhappy with this government, whether it is the double engine or triple engine sarkar, whatever we can call it, if I begin to list, then we'll run out of time for this show. But if they are not able to tap into this, then I feel very sorry that this then everything terrible that is happening to them, it is befitting
Right.
and should happen to them.
Right.
Nilu?
Towards the last, Mr. Hegde, I want to talk to you about Eknath Shinde. Of course, it's a happy time for Eknath Shinde. He's consolidated his position, and he's seen as the real star of Shiv Sena, the only one who's leading the Shiv Sena, as what you said, that now this is the only Shiv Sena. BJP is also very happy and giving a narrative that, look, we believe in strengthening our allies. But looking at whatever has happened with the political parties, especially the regional parties, are you not worried that once Eknath Shinde consolidates his Shiv Sena, it's still prone to split? What happens if Eknath Shinde, as a consolidated Shiv Sena, gets split again by the BJP? Because this pattern is going to recur until and unless BJP attains a complete dominance. BJP will not want allies. At least this is what the pattern we've seen.
Nilu, no, that will not happen because we are together since 1989 on the Hindutva issue. Before that, the Shiv Sena was formed, for the Asmita of the Marathi Manus and the Asmita of the Hindu Manus. So we are together since 89. So I don't see that unless we, leave away from the BJP like Uddhav Thackeray ji did, that would happen, that would not happen. So the other thing is, what I want to tell you, that even uh, right now, if
But
Uddhav
what
Thackeray ji
happens now?
has
Tell me honestly, Mr. Hegde, what happens supposing if in the run up to 2029 elections the wind blows against BJP? What is the guarantee that Shinde will
no,
not return to Uddhav Thackeray
no,
or to the other camp?
we will always be with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So we are ideological partners, we are organic partners, we are the oldest allies also. So the other thing is, you said about the corporators, 65 corporators from the Uddhav Thackeray camp. I don't know how many people will join us. Of the balance MLAs, how many people will join us? But even in the last election, there were so many people from Uddhav Thackeray's party who wanted to join us. There were so many people from Congress who wanted to join the Bharatiya Janata Party. So it is not that these people don't want to move. It is only that they did not get the seats or could not be accommodated, or there was a resistance from one of these two parties to accommodate them for some reason. Other thing is, like I was telling you about the Kotri in Uddhav Thackeray's party, there was a leader in Uddhav Thackeray's party who was very close to the Matoshri, who wanted to even cut Uddhav Thackre's nephew's ticket. That is also a fact there, because he was a little upset and thought that maybe he'll lose a bit of his, local area space, and therefore he even wanted to cut his nephew's ticket. And I think that also came out in the open, and there has been more friction within the party. So till the time this Kotri is not controlled, Uddhav Thackeray's party is always in damage.
Right. I think Yogesh wanted to make a
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yes.
You've made some very fabulous points about the fact that there is so much that is wrong, and that they can quickly fix within their own party. And that, I mean, when your house is on fire, at least now it's time that they wake up and do this. But I must tell you that I'm more than a little amused when you said that, we will continue to stay with the BJP. You said, Krishna ji, but I want to ask you whether the BJP will want to be with you, because if you look at that track record of how much the BJP as a saffron monster wants to devour every regional party that they tie up, whether it is Akali Dal, whether it's Assam Gana Parishad, whether it is, I mean, the Loktantrik party, any party that you see, regional party that they have tied up with, finally they devour it. So, I mean, it is great, and I'm very happy to see that as of now, everything is all, hunky dory, and both parties want to stay together because it is to their advantage. And you say we will stay with the BJP. But yes, if I remember correctly, Amit Shah, who was in Kolhapur recently, said that in 2029 we will go solo. That is what he said, and I think it comes from a confidence that because now they have sniffed blood
Yes.
and they know that this Maharashtra can also go the way Punjab or Assam did. So this is something that I would like to hear what you have to say to this, Krishna ji.
Yes. Concluding comments from Mr. Hegde then. Yeah.
Yeah, so see, Loktantrik Janata Party, Jan Shakti Party, and Assam Gana Parishad, and all are still part of the NDA. They are part of the NDA bloc of 40 parties. Only Akali Dal has moved out, you know. Whereas on the other side, if you see the TMC is not getting along with Congress, and sometimes they are, DMK is not, and they have the satraps have lost the elections. So Congress is more on a weaker wicket for 2029, because all those people who contributed to the tally of the UPA or the Indi Gadbandhan have all lost their states. So I don't think they're going to bounce back so early in 2.5 years. Secondly, with Amit Shah ji saying, see, we, or would always say that Amit Shah ji is the leader of the alliance along with Narendra Modi. And he has definitely, if he has said it, that is to, encourage his cadre. Every party, even we say the same things at times, because we also want our party to grow, our cadre to grow, everyone to have hopes and aspirations that they are going to reach somewhere. And therefore, there is always a thing that, we have to strengthen our own party. Every party has a right to strengthen their own party, their own voter base, and their own people.
So it
All
was
right.
a Jumla, you're saying, basically, just like the 14
No,
lakhs in everybody's
no,
account, which he himself
no,
admitted was a part
Exactly.
Jumla.
no. I'm just saying that every leader or every party has a right to strengthen their own party.
All
Thank
right,
you,
so we'll
Krishna.
have to wait and watch. Yeah, I let's wait and watch how Uddhav handles this and what happens eventually to Eknath Shinde. All eyes, of course, would be on that as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Hegde. Yogesh, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Nilu and
Thank
Yogesh.
you.
Bye.
Thank you so
Pleasure to
much,
speak
Krishna.
to you.